Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my channel. Today's recipe is chicken jalfrezi. Now this is not the original recipe, this is my take on this recipe. So let's start the recipe. I will be saying the ingredients as we go. The first thing you will need to do is you need 2 medium-sized tomatoes and a half of a medium-sized tomato, and you're going to basically steam it in water. While that is steaming, you're going to take around 2 tablespoons of oil, heat it up in a pot, and take around 3 to 4 minced garlics. If you are not using garlic cloves, then you'll use around 2 tablespoons of garlic paste. Once the garlic is lightly frying, what you'll do is you'll basically peel your tomatoes. Now what I did was that I took the tomatoes and put them in a sieve. This way we got the tomato juice out in a bowl on the bottom, and then we had the pulp on the top. We will be using both juice and pulp. Now once you have your pulp and your tomato juice separated, what you're going to do is that you are going to put the pulp in with the garlic. Now the garlic is not going to be fried too long. It's going to be fried just until you start smelling the garlic, where it gives its really nice aroma. It's around like a minute or so. And then you're going to take the pulp out of the sieve and you're going to slightly cook that into the garlic, around 1 to 2 minutes. Remember to constantly stir it so it does not get stuck to the bottom and start burning. Because the garlic is thinly minced, it can easily burn or easily become a darker color, and we do not want that. Now once your tomato pulp is a little soft, then what you're going to do is you're going to put around half of the tomato juice that we had in with it, and this will help the tomato pulp become a little bit more soft, so you'll have a nice thick gravy towards the end. Now while the tomatoes are getting a little softer, you're going to take your seasoning out. The seasoning we'll be using is salt, chili powder, turmeric, and garam masala. The first ingredient we'll be using is salt. We'll use around 1 teaspoon of salt. Then the next one would be chili powder. We use half a teaspoon of chili powder. Because I'm making this a little bit less spicy than normal, I only use 1/2 teaspoon, but if you want it spicy, use one whole teaspoon. For the turmeric, I only use 1/4 of a teaspoon, and for the garam masala, we use 1.5 teaspoons of garam masala. Now that you have all your seasonings in the pot, what you're going to do is that you're going to mix it until the seasoning is well incorporated with the tomato paste that you just created. And you're going to slowly keep cooking it until you see the oil start to separate from the mixture. As you can see in the video, there's those little bubbles that are being created from the heat. That is actually what you want to see. Once you start seeing that, you will put in your chicken. I use around 3/4 of a chicken, mostly because I wanted to have more of a more gravy than normal. You can use a whole chicken. I used 3/4 of a chicken. So 16-piece chicken, I only use around 12 pieces. Once you have the chicken in, you're going to mix the mixture around it and make sure the chicken is well coated with the mixture. Then cover it and let it cook for around 5 to 7 minutes, while mixing every now and then. After the 5 to 7 minutes are over, you're going to give it a nice stir and then throw in your peppers. The peppers that I used is mini sweet peppers. I used around 17 peppers. Over here I only put half of the peppers in, and then I added the rest of the tomato juice with 1/4 of water. You're going to give it a nice mix, and then you will cover and let it steam for around 10 minutes. I did feel like my peppers were a little less, so I ended up adding 5 to 6 more mini sweet peppers. If you do not have sweet peppers and you use normal bell peppers, you will only need around 2 bell peppers to complete this recipe. The more colors of bell peppers you use, the better the taste will be. So you could use green, red, orange, yellow, whichever one. They all taste beautiful in this recipe. Now, once you have all your peppers and your water and your tomato juice in, just give it a nice mix and then let it steam for around 5 minutes on medium to high heat, occasionally mixing it once or twice. Once it's done steaming, check the chicken to make sure it is actually fully cooked. Make sure it's a little bit soft and not too chewy. If your chicken is chewy, then I would recommend to steam it for another 3 to 4 minutes just to soften the chicken. If it's not chewy and it's nice and soft, then in that case all you need to do is just let the gravy dry out. So keep it on medium to high heat uncovered and just keep mixing it every few seconds just so you could dry out the gravy and get a thicker, less watery gravy. I put around one tablespoon of chopped cilantro just to give it another kick of a taste, and it actually is really, really nice for garnish on top. Since I'm almost about to be done cooking, what I usually do is just clean up around the pot and make sure that there's no oil spatters or anything around. And I keep continuing to mix it a little bit here and there, just so it dries out a little bit faster. Once you're done, just put it into a serving bowl and it's ready to eat. You could serve this with some white rice on the side or even just a naan. If you like this recipe, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more recipes.